6 qualities that make for bad leadership. Covetousness is one, followed by vanity, recklessness, emotionalism, cowardice, and bashfulness. Let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, 6. Bashfulness and cowardice pretty much goes very similar, hand in hand. But let me talk about covetousness just for a minute. Give me 1 Timothy 6 and 10.
This is the book of 1 Timothy, chapter 6, verse 10. For the love of money is the root of all evil, which while some coveted after, they have erred from the faith, and pierced themselves through with many sorrows.
So a leader, if you desire to be a leader in Israel now, all you men that are here, that should be your desire. You cannot have a covetous spirit because it will lead you down a pathway it is hard to come from. Read it again.
For the love of money.
Notice it says the love of it. Not money itself, but your love for it. Not your need for money. It's not talking about a need. It's talking about a want, a desire. You want enough money, a lot. Go ahead.
For the love of money is the root of all evil, which while some coveted after,
they
have erred from the faith.
Coveting after money will cause you to err from the faith of God. Because you will do things for money. Like, I don't know how many of y'all, what was that song by the old man? Y'all remember that song? Y'all know what I'm talking about. For the love of money, you will do virtually anything to get. You will even, let's start with lying. You will lie and say, well, I have to do such and such on the Sabbath because I don't have enough money. Now, you know, between you and God, now I'm not talking about anybody who has to work on the Sabbath. I know some of your jobs do say you have to. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the brother or the sister. Not sister, I'm talking about the brother where the job says, you can have the Sabbath off, but then you come to us and say, well, I have to work on the Sabbath because of A, B, and C. Judgment will be for that. There will be judgment for that. We don't?
After they have erred from the faith, and pierced themselves through with many sorrows.
The love of money will cause you to pierce yourself through with many sorrows. Get me Sirach 19 and 2. Under coveting for money, some of you could covet for a woman. So we read yesterday, covetousness, which is what? Covetousness, which is, no, Colossians 3 and 5. And covetousness, which is idolatry. Idolatry. Sirach 19:2.
Ecclesiasticus, Sirach in the Apocrypha, chapter 19 and verse 2. Wine and women will make men of understanding to fall away.
Wine and women will make men of understanding to what?
Fall away.
Mm-hmm.
And he that cleaveth to harlots.
And he that cleaveth to harlots.
Will become impudent.
And will become impudent. So, I don't know. Now, I'm not bringing this up because I'm saying anybody's doing anything. I'm just bringing it up because these are certain qualities that make for bad leadership. When you covet after money and women. Okay? Women come in, and brother sees a pretty sister. He's all in the face, chatter. He's texting. And some brothers may know you are married. And some brothers who are single may do that, knowing you don't want her for marriage. You want her
in lust.
In lust, thank you. Go from there. Go to 1 Maccabees 5:55. When we talk about vanity. There's a movie, a very good movie. If you never saw it, it's called, just forgot it. What is it about? Law. Al Pacino, Keanu Reeves, two Edomites. Devil's Advocate. That one right there. Anybody saw that movie? See the movie. Satan, the devil, says to the up-and-coming lawyer, Keanu Reeves, he says, my favorite sin is vanity. Vanity. He says, you can easily manipulate people with a vain spirit.
Vanity is definitely my favorite sin. Kevin, it's so basic. Self-love, the all-natural opiate.
Get 1 Maccabees 5. Let's start at verse 55 and read that.
1 Maccabees chapter 5, verse 55. Now what time as Judas and Jonathan were in the land of Gilead, and Simon his brother in Galilee before Ptolemaeus, Joseph the son of Zacharias and Azarias, captains of the garrisons, heard of the valiant acts and warlike deeds which they had done. Wherefore they said, let us also get a name, and go fight against the heathen that are round about us.
Now when you read the entire chapter, Judas and his brethren told these young men, do not go out to war. Stay back with the women and the children, keep them safe. So when they leave, they hear about Judas' valiant feats and all of that, they go, hey, let us go up and get a name for ourselves. Now they were just given an order. Stand back, stand down. Go ahead.
So when they had given charge unto the garrison that was with them, they went out toward Jamnia. Then came Gorgias and his men out of the city to fight against them. And so it was that Joseph and Azarias were put to flight and pursued unto the borders of Judea. And there were slain that day of the people of Israel about 2,000 men.
2,000 men were killed because of a vanity spirit, a vain spirit who wanted to shine. Look at me, I can be great too. And they were given order, stand down. They would not listen. So now 2,000 men died because of that vanity spirit. Go ahead.
Thus was there a great overthrow among the children of Israel, because they were not obedient unto Judas and his brethren, but thought to do some valiant act.
So a leader, up-and-coming leader, cannot suffer from vanity. You cannot. If you're given an order, brother, follow the order. We are men of experience. We've been there, done that. Okay? Next thing. Write this down. Reckless. Reckless can also include foolish talking. Reckless, saying things reckless. We used to be, when I was in camp, sometimes a while years ago, I remember there was a brother very reckless. I'll do this to you, and I'll do that to you, blah, blah, blah. So, this Edomite walked up, he said, hey, you with the bloody big mouth. It was funny, it was from England too. He said, come over here and do it to me. So now the elder at the time, one of the elders was a brother named Priest Lahab. He said, hey, Troop, he said, you deal with me. So that Edomite goes, no. I want him with the big mouth. So the brother comes down, the Edomite picks him up and body slam, boom, right on the ground. The brother's on the ground, like, twitch it. Now we couldn't let that go down. Of course, we took care of Esau. But the point was, what I just wanted to say that, don't run your mouth. Don't talk reckless talk, okay? There will always be someone bigger, stronger, and smarter than you. Now, let's read Proverbs 23:30. A reckless spirit does not consider the consequences. He just does things. Then he'll look at the after effects, see half everybody's dead and go, oh, I didn't know that would happen. That's a reckless mind. Go ahead.
Proverbs chapter 23, verse 30. They that tarry long at the wine, they that go to seek mixed wine, look not thou upon the wine when it is red.
So you might ask yourself, what does this have to do with being reckless? A reckless mind also involves various things, including wine. We've had brothers, I'll talk about New York for a second. Hey brother, don't drink more than this. You know your limit. Oh brother, I can handle my wine. I can handle my drink. Drink, 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 drink. Before you know it, he's talking with one of the brother's daughters. The daughter is 15 years old. Off to the side, and the daughter's like looking around, and I see him talking to her. So, saying something's going on, but I didn't know what. So let me wait and see. Later on, the young girl comes over, and she says, he wouldn't let me go. I was trying to go play with the other sisters, and he just kept telling me how beautiful I was, and blah, 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 and this and that. You know, we had to give that brother hell for that. Why? Because he would not listen. Don't keep drinking. You're going to do something you're going to regret. Drink, 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 drink. From there. Was that it?
Look not upon the wine when it is red, when it giveth color when it giveth his color in the cup, right. When it moveth itself aright.
Exactly.
At the last it biteth like a serpent, and stingeth like an adder.
Give me Sirach 7:11. Sirach. Now I'm not going over this once again. I'm not saying anybody in here is reckless at the wine. I'm not saying that. Because as far as I see glasses of water. But this is for future reference. We ask you, brothers, what are you dealing with? I know, brothers, like we always joke to sisters, we say sisters put on the face of their manager. Brothers do the same thing. Oh, no, brother, I have no problems. I am a super Israelite. Yeah, right. It always comes out in time. Read that.
Ecclesiasticus Sirach in the Apocrypha, 7th chapter, the 11th verse. Laugh no man to scorn.
Laugh no man to scorn. Some of you have a spirit of joke, and joking too much can lead to fist fights, hatred, and anger. Understand that. We've seen it, okay? I remember back in one of the old schools, brother said, hey, let's bring the TV into the school and watch the boxing match. I forgot who was fighting. But anyway, whoever was fighting, I didn't watch it. It was foolishness. But brothers was into it. Yeah. Whoever lost, who I don't remember, all certain brothers joked the loser. Whoever lost got joked. This brother who was getting joked, couldn't take it no more. He takes a stick, breaks the TV, chases brothers out to school. We're like, what the hell is this? This type of foolishness should not be going on. That jokey, I'm going to mock you forever. That type of spirit should not be going on amongst you men. I'm not saying you can't laugh at one another. I love a good joke. We joke with each other all the time. But not where it's ridiculous, not where it's insulting, not where it's humiliating, and not when it's degrading. Read that again.
Laugh no man to scorn in the bitterness of his soul, for there is one which humbleth and exalteth.
From that, give me Proverbs 26, verse 18.
Proverbs chapter 26, verse 18. As a madman who casteth firebrands.
I want you to listen good to this. As a madman that casteth firebrands. Go ahead.
Arrows. And death.
And what?
And death.
And death.
So is the man that deceiveth his neighbor and saith, am I not in sport?
So you got a guy casting firebrands, shooting arrows in the air. This is a reckless spirit. He's doing this to unknowingly hurt you and kill you. Read it again. Watch what it says.
So is the man that deceiveth, as a madman who casteth firebrands, arrows, and death. So is the man that deceiveth his neighbor.
He deceiveth his neighbor. What does he say?
And saith, am not I in sport?
I'm just playing, brother. I'm just playing. No, that's a reckless mind. Because he wants to say and do things that can cause injury to people. Then when you catch him in it, he says, I'm in sport. I'm just playing. Don't do that. You may understand that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. The next type of man that makes for a bad leader is an emotional man. Now, we all got emotions. We're talking about that overly sensitive brother. He's just, everything just bothers this guy. Get me Ephesians 4:31. An emotional brother has various qualities. He's an angry brother. That's one quality. Always he goes from 0 to 60 in a second. 1 minute he's laughing, hey, next minute he want to punch you in the face. A spirit like that will make for a bad leader because he will get the whole camp killed. If you notice at camp today, all right, you brothers that were at camp, if you notice that we each used various techniques while we were out teaching. Some, when we went in rough and raw, if the crowd was getting out of hand, we took it down a notch. Okay, calm down, calm down. All you spirits, just calm down. We lowered it. And if it was a subject, we might have went to the law, to a law or something else in the scripture. There's a lot of various techniques you have to learn. That way, when the crowd is rising up against you, you have to be able to calm those spirits. Okay? Remember, you are outnumbered out there. Yes, the Lord is on your side, but a reckless leader will get everybody killed or locked up in jail. Where we at?
The book of Ephesians, chapter 4, verse 31. Let all bitterness and wrath and anger and clamor and evil speaking be put away from you with all malice.
Now that's a beautiful, I want all you men, and you know what? I want you sisters, you write that down too. Read that again.
Let all bitterness.
Let all bitterness. Some of you in here are bitter one towards another. Those spirits must be purged from you. A bitter spirit one toward another. Come on.
And wrath.
Wrath falls under anger. Those spirits must be purged from you. Come on.
And anger.
Anger.
And clamor.
What? Can we look up clamor? Let's look up clamor. Let's look up clamor.
Clamor. Noun. A loud uproar as from a crowd of people. Any loud and continued noise.
Loud and continued noise. Some brothers are loud and make continued noise. Let me tell you, that spirit will not shut up. Give me that one in Proverbs about the woman. Proverbs, you know what I'm talking about? Watch. Now we'll understand it with the woman very easy, but when it comes to brothers, we go, am I clamorous? Watch. Let's read the woman first.
Loud and stubborn or clamorous.
Yes, clamorous.
Proverbs chapter 9 verse 13. A foolish woman is clamorous. She is simple and knoweth nothing.
So when you hear clamorous for a woman, you go, yeah, she's always saying something. Guess what? Some men have that quality too. Go back to Ephesians.
Ephesians chapter 4 verse 31. Let all bitterness and wrath and anger and clamor.
And clamor. You got, brother, can you please stop talking? That's a clamorous spirit right there. You're about to give him the answer that he asked for. This, you get 2 words out. Oh yeah. That's a clamorous spirit who don't want to answer. Clamorous. Check yourselves. I don't got to point no fingers because y'all know who in here is clamorous. You know who talks 1,000,000 words a minute and won't shut up. Read on.
And evil speaking.
Evil speaking. That falls under the foolish jesting of joking. Because you got to know when a brother has had enough. Okay, I said a joke. I saw his facial expression. Read spirits. You said something. You made a face. Like, what the hell are you saying? Bro, I didn't mean it. I'm sorry. Check yourself before somebody else got to check you. You all know when you say something and it offends someone. Go ahead.
And evil speaking be put away from you.
Let it what?
Be put away from you with all malice.
With all malice. From there. What was it? That was emotional, right?
Yes.
Give me Ecclesiastes 7 and 9. Read the next verse. Read the next verse. I'm sorry. Read verse 32.
Verse 32. And be ye kind one to another.
Thank you, Captain. And this is something, it doesn't come natural. Especially, brothers always go, yeah, these women, they don't get along. Well, guess what? Some of you brothers don't get along either. It says, be ye what?
Be ye kind one to another.
Some of us come out of a life of constant what's the word? Bickering, verbal battering. So now we come around Israel, we got to start to change our ways. We have to start to practice. Practice. Read that again.
And be ye kind one to another.
That takes practice. That don't come natural. That takes practice. Brother, you okay? You need anything? Brother's all right. Sister, how are you doing? Is everything all right? That's not natural for a Negro or Latino. And when I say Negro, I'm talking about you Latinos too. So it comes with practice. Go ahead.
Tenderhearted.
Tenderhearted, that comes with practice too. Some of us come from parents who used to beat our behind every day. So we grew up not being tender. We couldn't spell tender. Is this tender? Bah! That's how we do. Why? Because our mothers and fathers did it to us. You got to put off that and let it go. Go ahead.
Forgiving one another.
Forgiving one another. So we bicker, we fight. Okay. Christ said how many times, brothers? 70 times 70. So Paul is saying forgive one another. That's what we got to do. Go ahead.
Even as God, for Christ's sake, hath forgiven you.
Right. God only forgave us for Christ's sake. Okay, what he did for that sacrifice. So he's forgiving us of our sins. From there, get me Ecclesiastes 7 and 9. It might be Ecclesiastes or Ecclesiasticus. Let me look. Always put half the word down and don't write the whole thing up. Ecclesiastes in the Bible. Let me hear what that one says.
Ecclesiastes chapter 7 verse 9. Be not hasty in thy spirit to be angry.
Be not hasty in thy spirit to be angry. If you know you have an issue with anger, you have to practice, practice, practice. Especially amongst couples. I always tell husbands and wives, both of you need to practice. Pray and practice God's laws together. Pray and practice. Pray and practice. Okay? And that's something that most married couples don't do. We quick to bicker, fight, but when it comes to praying together and practicing the application of the laws, we don't do that. And guess what? Other people in the congregation pick it up. They go, hey, look at brother so-and-so. This dude ain't right. Look at his wife. She ain't right either. We've been through school to school and we see the same thing. There's nothing, what we're going over now here in the UK is nothing different than the other schools in the States. Same things. We all have similar spirits. Okay, come on. Was that it?
Be not hasty in thy spirit to be angry, for anger resteth in the bosom of fools.
Y'all see that? Anger resteth in the bosom of fools. Brother, I'm not a fool, but he's quick to anger. He's a fool. He's a fool. That quality makes for a bad leader. Okay?
You know, Bishop, let me say something on that. One of the reasons why it makes for bad leaders is because in your anger, whether it's impatience, etc., it hinders you from being able to see the good in anyone else. We can't do this work alone. You need brothers, you need sisters in place, you need a brother's keeper. But if you're so angry and get mad at everybody about every little thing, you're not going to find brothers to actually help you do the work. And the problem is no man is his own island. There's going to be issues that happen, but we have to be long-suffering. But it's going to look foolish on your part if nobody is in your corner to help you when things go down because of your anger. Now here you are on your own. It's foolish.
Exactly. From there, get me Proverbs 16:32.
Proverbs chapter 16, verse 32. He that is slow to anger is better than the mighty, and he that ruleth his spirit than he that taketh a city.
Y'all see that? Read that again. This makes for good leadership.
He that is slow to anger is better than the mighty.
He that is slow to anger is better than the mighty. I know some of y'all used to watch boxing. You ever see like all I can think of is Rocky at the second, but that's not real. But anyway, you ever see a boxer piss the other boxer off? Now, this one boxer, he's calm, cool, and collect. The other boxer, who may be bigger and stronger than him, he's getting so mad, he's not really focused on what the jabs he needs to throw, the body shots, whatever. He's not focused. He's all over the place because there's anger. Meanwhile, a calm brother, who may be a little slower, weaker, and smaller, he's calm, cool, and collected. He wins the fight. Ding, 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 ding. It's over. Read it again.
He that is slow to anger is better than the mighty, and he that ruleth his spirit than he that taketh a city.
And he that ruleth his spirit is better than he that taketh a city. Okay, so that was the emotional brother, the emotional. 6 qualities that make for bad leadership. So we went over covetous, vanity, recklessness, emotional. Now let's deal with the coward brother. Coward. Get me the one, I can write it down, in Deuteronomy, where it says who got married, who's afraid. Remember that one? Give me that. Just popped into my head. You got it?
Yep. Deuteronomy 20 and verse 8. Deuteronomy chapter 20 verse 7. And what man is there that hath betrothed a wife, and have not taken her? Let him go and return unto his house, lest he die in the battle, and another man take her. And the officers shall speak further unto the people, and they shall say, what man is there that is fearful and faint-hearted?
So before we went out to war, one of the things we asked the men, who among you is fearful and faint-hearted? Go ahead.
Let him go and return unto his house.
He said, you that are afraid and faint, go home and return to your house. Go ahead.
Lest his brethren's heart faint as well as his heart.
Why? Because the other men in the camp with you will pick up, you are afraid. They'll be like, yo. Then that spirit starts to jump from man to man to man to man. Now everybody's running down the street. Give me Timothy 1 and 7.
2 Timothy.
2 Timothy, thank you. Now, you may feel fear for a moment, but that's all right. Control that. Control that. Don't let it control you.
2 Timothy chapter 1 verse 7. For God hath not given us the spirit of fear.
The Most High has not given us a spirit of fear. We were totally surrounded today. We weren't afraid. Okay, even if you felt a little butterfly at first, remember the Most High, the battle's not yours. It's the Lord's. Okay? And another scripture says we can do all things through Christ which strengthens me. You brothers got to believe that. Okay? Read that again.
For God hath not given us the spirit of fear.
So when you feel that fear taking over you, understand that's Satan. Satan playing through your own mind. This is going to happen to you, and this is going to happen to you. You're going to get killed. You're going to get beat up. You're going to go to jail. This is going to happen. Stop. It's going to be all right, bro. It's going to be all right. You finish that?
For God hath not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love.
See that? God gave you Israelites the spirit of power and of love, meaning total obedience to his law. That's the spirit he gave us. Was that it?
And of a sound mind.
He made a sound of mind. Ain't nobody here crazy. Well, let me not speak too soon. There might be a little crazy hiding somewhere. But out front, ain't nobody crazy, from what I can see. Was that it?
Yes.
Give me 2 Maccabees 8. 2 Maccabees 8. In verse 13.
2 Maccabees, the 8th chapter, the Apocrypha, verse 13. They that were fearful and distrusted the justice of God, fled and conveyed themselves away.
Notice what it says, they that were fearful and distrusted the justice of God. They didn't trust the judgment of God. So when you don't, that's an unbelieving, unfaithful spirit. That's why we read yesterday. Remember in Romans 10:17 it says, faith comes by hearing, hearing the word of God. Remember that, brothers?
Shalom, Israel. I'm Elder Nathaniel of Israel United in Christ. YouTube likes to shut our channels down, as some of you have noticed, ever so often. Subscribing to join IUIC will assure you will always stay connected to our YouTube accounts. We want to do our best to make sure this truth gets out. Please click and join our subscriber YouTube channel called Join IUIC to stay linked to all of our videos. So again, please make sure you subscribe to this Join IUIC channel to get your latest updates from all our YouTube channels. Shalom.